Stalinist rule fused ideology with coercion. It drove famine-scale mortality, mass executions, and wartime economic collapse. The regime held power through legal choke points and security capture. Here is why it mattered then and what to learn now. This is Dominion Risk. In under 4 minutes, you will see how Stalin's system consolidated power, who enabled it, the human and economic toll, and the indicators that still matter. We rely on open sources and standard data sets. Peer-reviewed work on the 1932 to 1933 famine, archival figures for the Great Purge, wartime GDP series, UN records on deportations, and regime-type datasets. Exact famine totals by region vary. We use ranges supported by the best evidence. The mechanism was legal monopolization and coercive resource extraction. The party shut down competitive politics and centralized authority. It then used collectivization and green procurements to feed cities at rural expense. The 1932 to 1933 famine followed failed harvests, high quotas, and movement restrictions. Best estimates put excess deaths around 5.5 to 6.5 million across the Soviet Union. A second shock in 1946 to 1947 added roughly 1 to 1.5 million deaths after the war. Show trials, policing quotas, and administrative exile normalized fear. Emergency decrees justified coercion, coercion suppressed feedback, policy errors compounded. The Politburo set targets, the NKVD executed mass operations, regional committees enforced quotas. During the Great Purge from 1936 to 1938, official records show 681,692 executions in 1937 and 1938. Total deaths, including custody mortality, are commonly estimated near or above 1 million. Purges decapitated military and administrative elites. Compliance rose, competence fell. Administrative exile and special settlements extended control beyond prisons. This was bureaucratic repression, documented by orders, categories, and targets. Human cost. The famine of 1932 to 1933 killed about 5.5 to 6.5 million. The 1946 to 1947 crisis added around 1 to 1.5 million deaths. Executions and custody deaths in 1937 to 1938 scaled into the hundreds of thousands, with total purge deaths near or above 1 million. Forced deportations under Stalin displaced roughly 3 million people from multiple nationalities. Economically, real output fell by about 1/3 at the 1942 trough, then recovered under extreme mobilization with Allied inputs. Civilian consumption stayed compressed as the state prioritized heavy industry and the front. Comparative data sets continued to rate the system at or near the autocratic floor. Then, faction bans and decree power concentrated authority. Policing quotas normalized exceptional violence. Information control hid failure. Now, the signal set is recognizable. Watch for legal choke points that disable pluralism, procurement or nationalization drives that criminalize subsistence, and security services gaining autonomous mandates. Also, watch for a war economy stance without a declared war, budget bias to security, ration-like effects, and rising data opacity. Small movements in regime scores can mask sharp increases in coercive capacity. Stalin's system shows how law, logistics, and fear can turn shocks into mass death and persistent autocracy, fast. Learn the signals. Act early. Subscribe for more objective historical breakdowns from Dominion Risk.